Does it seem as though some job interview questions are designed to trip you up? Well, it should, because they are. So how can you answer some of those common tricky interview questions? Well, career coach Chrissy Scivicque is here to tell us how. And I'm sure this next question is one that everybody's heard in some way or another in some point of their lives in an interview. And that's, what is your biggest weakness?
Right. You are so right. This is a favorite question for interviewers, and yet so many people completely flounder when they hear it. They say, I don't know, I can't think of anything.
I'm perfect.
Right. So the important thing here is to be authentic. And you want to talk about a real area of professional growth that you have, but more importantly, you want to talk about what you have actually done to improve that situation and what you're going to do in the future to continue improving it.
So you're not just throwing yourself under the bus and then saying,
exactly.
I don't have good people skills.
Right, no, that would not be good.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah. Okay, well, how do you answer the question for someone who maybe has been out of work for some time and someone says, well, what have you been doing to stay busy while you haven't been working?
Right, if you've been unemployed for any period of time, your interviewer is going to want to know what you've been doing to stay busy. And unfortunately, they really don't care about your great new workout regimen. So you want to talk about your professional development activities. So specifically, what books have you been reading? What classes have you been taking? What have you been doing to keep your skills up to date and relevant while you're out of the workforce?
And of course, those skills that are pertinent to the job you're applying for.
Yes, absolutely. Right.
Now, what about the interview wraps up? Your potential employer says, do you have any questions for me?
Right. This can hardly be called a tricky question, right? Because every interviewer tries to wrap up the conversation this way. And unfortunately, people still don't prepare properly. So you want to have about 5 to 7 questions in your back pocket ready to go when this question comes up. So I have 2 recommendations for you, and these work really in any situation. Are you ready for them?
Let's do it.
Okay. So the first one is looking back at the people who have successfully held this position in the past. What has differentiated the good performer from the great performer?
Okay. That's a good one.
Second option is just to ask, how do you envision this position growing with the company in the future?
Okay, so questions, again, that you want to have prepared beforehand.
Right. You want to really show that you're interested in doing a great job in this position and you're looking at this to be a long-term career move.
What about any other additional tips you might have for some people?
It's all about prepare, prepare, prepare. Have your family and friends just grill you. The more confident you can be when you walk through the door and as you're sitting through that conversation, the more likely it's going to be that you get a job offer.
And do your homework, right, on that job too, so you know everything and you can ask those questions. Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Chrissy, great tips. Thank you so much for being here this morning. And of course, for more information on, you can go to our website. Just go to kdvr.com. You'll find a link to Eat Your Career and the As Seen On section.